Previously on Survivor, the contestants began to consider the possibility of a back-to-back challenge in Tribal Council. Greg and Rachel continued their search for the idol, but it was Mel that found the second merge idol without an idol clue. Mel shared her idol find with Hannah, and the two again discussed the need to convince Juliana and Taylor to eliminate Greg and Autumn in the event of a vote. Meanwhile, Juliana and Rachel debated whether it was time to make a move on Autumn or take out one of the Teratibu girls. Greg and Taylor called in, and the group seemed to agree to target Mel. At the challenge, Rachel won her second individual immunity, and the tribe's prediction came true as they went straight into Tribal Council. At Tribal, Greg used his expiring idol to negate 0 votes, and a short scramble ensued in which Rachel and Juliana, unhappy with the earlier decision, turned all the votes on former ally Autumn, ousting her in a 6-1 vote. 6 are left. Who will be voted out tonight?
Basically, I crushed it yet again. Everything that I thought was going to happen did happen. I talked to Juliana first pretty much and was like, I kind of just want to do the Autumn vote. How do you feel? And she was like, yeah, me too. Let's do it.
It was a big decision to get Autumn out, and I do feel really, really bad. It wasn't an easy choice, but just with like the time constraint, it just felt like that was going to be the best move, and like it was really just based on the fact that she is like a really strong person.
Obviously, that wasn't my first choice. I knew that it would probably have to happen at some point, but I didn't think it was going to be this vote. I guess I could have played the idol for her, but I didn't. That would have burned more bridges than what it would have helped. So, didn't really want to do that. So I kind of got backed in the corner and had to vote for Autumn.
I am like beaming. I am literally like. I can't. So finally your returner is gone. I'm just like, I don't even know what I want to do next week, just because like, well, obviously I want to get out of threat, so that's Rachel or Greg, but like, I don't even know what the plan is. It's also really funny though, I'm pretty sure Jamie cast my name last week. Jamie's gone. Autumn cast my name this week. Autumn's gone, so write my name down, see what happens.
So I am utterly shocked right now. I did not think that was going to be unanimous in any way. I thought everyone was lying. I really thought that Juliana and Autumn were a lot closer than they were. I voted for Autumn just because of my 3-threat rationale, and I'm glad that one of those 3 are gone.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen next. Now it's kind of like Mel and Hannah, Greg and Rachel, me and Juliana, there's a bunch of pairs. I feel like the pairs will stick together just because everyone seems really close with their people. So you kind of have to convince the pair. Which I feel like me and Juliana aren't necessarily in a bad spot with that because we are close to Greg and Rachel, but then I'm kind of close to Mel, and I did vote with them this time, so I kind of showed loyalty to them.
Final 6, that's fun. It'll be interesting because I don't know what happens at this point. This is all foreign to me. I've only heard it through folklore.
Yes! I can't believe we pulled that off!
Final 6, oh my god, we did it.
It's the wildest thing in the whole world. If you would have asked me on the first day if we would have made it to Final 6, I would never have said
Wait,
that.
what was it? The first merge vote. We were both a Cinderella story if we made it out on the other side.
We were both pretty sad because I feel like it's back in reach again. Seeing the end is back in reach.
I'm glad we got one of the 3 out.
Yeah, now we have 3 more votes, 2 more threats.
Who's your fantasy get out? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like Greg, just because
Rachel, Juliana.
That's the plan. Yeah, because wouldn't you want to go up against Taylor in the end?
Hell yeah.
I haven't really met that much this week. I had plans to meet with Rachel, Greg, and Hannah just to kind of appease them and hopefully make sure they're not scheming more than anything. Greg and Rachel, I missed the meeting, but Hannah went to it.
Feeling the school spirit right now.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks, yeah.
A premature one.
Mel would be here, but we're pretty sure she's sleeping.
I'm 90% sure she's sleeping.
So,
pretend she's sitting.
Way to go. Yeah, so Mel's missing out on this one.
Or was it you? I don't remember. I think it was her.
It
She's
was
the one
Mel.
who
It
called
was
the
Mel.
meeting.
Yeah, Mel called the meeting and then
This is some bullshit.
We met with Hannah, which was a pure waste of time. Mel called the meeting because Mel is always scared, even though we don't have Survivor for a solid week. So we should all be chilling, but obviously that's impossible for them. So we met. Meanwhile, Mel slept through the meeting, so we all met for her craziness without her.
Yeah, so I guess from my perspective, I think that Juliana is probably a better like overall player.
Yeah.
And probably has a better chance at wooing over a jury and getting some votes at the end.
That was a waste of life. Went all the way to campus, thought the meeting was a half an hour earlier than it was, so came early, then waited forever, then started the meeting. It was like a full hour waste of life. And I don't even think we want to work with them. So.
And it was super weird. Like, there was definitely some weird vibes. I think A, because of Greg's idol and none of us knowing about it, and B, just like Rachel kept saying, like, you're not gonna flip on us, right? You're not gonna flip on us. And she's just making me really nervous. I feel like she has like some kind of inkling. And I kind of like played off, like being like, oh, we thought you guys were gonna flip on us because of Jamie's like chaos maneuvering.
My agenda going into this would be to probably ride it out right now for this vote with obviously Rachel, but then also with Taylor and Juliana. Juliana and Taylor would be more loyal than Mel and Hannah. I think Mel and Hannah are sketched out by the Kevin vote and then the Jamie vote back to back because there's a lot of stuff going around with those. Hopefully I've started to shore up a little bit, and hopefully that keeps me right in the middle of the two groups.
I think the trust there is really gone. So I'm definitely concerned for this week. I feel like Juliana and Taylor to some degree are in like the swing vote position.
I would like to split the vote on Mel and Hannah and vote out Hannah at this vote. I think that she has an argument to win the game.
So I feel bad that like Autumn went home, but I feel like that was like a good plan, pretty much.
And then at the last minute, everyone was scrambling, and Autumn got whispered into my ear. And I just thought it'd be a good time to get her out. She was a really strong player and a threat potentially.
Yeah, it sucks to see her go, but like at the same time, like it kind of works in our favor. I feel like because of that, like that's like I feel like it's like another step in the right direction for like any of us to win. At first it was like I think Greg should go just because he's a returner, and like realistically whether I make it to the jury or not, like, or whether I make it to the like final jury or as part of the jury in the final jury, like I don't like having a returner be in the final three doesn't sit well with me, even just like as a jury member. Like I don't want to have to like vote on a like returner. My only fear is that like I really just don't know what's going on with Juliana, and like it seems like Juliana and Rachel hit it off. I really don't know what's going on with Juliana. Every time I try to meet with her, she like swerves every time without fail. Like I text her and then she's like, what about tomorrow? I'm like, well, I could do tomorrow. Then the next day it happens and I'm like, okay, are we good to meet? And then how about tomorrow? So I have not met with Juliana. I've been trying to meet with Juliana for now probably, so I tried to meet with her on Thursday, I think, of last week. So today is Thursday this week. It's been a whole week. I basically contact every day and saying like, can we meet? And then postponing it to the next day, which doesn't end up happening. So good.
Like
Autumn was like the first person that like, as you said, like we were friends with her, like and like it was the right decision because like she is such a good player.
Yeah. And Taylor and I really are just very happy with how far we've gotten in this game, and we don't really have many regrets. And this last vote with Autumn was definitely the hardest vote that we've had, but really we're both very proud of like how far we've gotten. And at this point, we're honestly just gonna have fun and just play, and we're not gonna try to like ruin any relationships that we have with people. Autumn, if you're watching this,
yeah, we're
really
sorry.
We really are.
We still love you.
We do love you. Like, please don't hate us. So I definitely like still want to work with Rachel and Greg. I just feel like the loyalty is there, and they've like proven that.
Yeah.
I think we have to. And I really feel like when Rachel like proposed going like final 3, she seemed like genuine about that.
I think she did too.
So I like that. I hope that Rachel stays loyal to us and that she was genuine about her offer. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I've really enjoyed the experience that I've had, and I think that other people should apply for Survivor and should play too, because you really find out a lot about yourself, and when you're put in these situations that are high stakes, you really just are forced to grow, and you just learn a lot about how you handle stress. So I'm grateful. I'm just going to continue throughout it with a growth mindset and just continue to have fun.
If they are intelligent and play with their brain, then it is a little worrisome that this game is now in pairs. You got Mel and Hannah, me and Greg, and Juliana and Taylor, and that the 2 pairs that aren't me and Greg can get together and vote us out. In my opinion, that would be the most intelligent move. But if people are playing with their hearts and with their loyalties, everybody still thinks that we're loyal to them.
At the same time, though, like, I do want to win, I guess.
Yeah,
Everyone does.
yeah.
And so I feel like going with Greg would just be, like, a shoo-in to, like, lose. Like, he's played a good game, and, like, he's just such a get talker. He would talk his way into, like, something.
Right. He's so social and, like, funny, and, like, people just, like him.
Yeah, he's just, like, a likable person.
He's just so likable.
I would be fine going with, like, you, me, Rachel, or, like, you, me, Mel.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go with Greg, really, and I don't really want to go with Hannah.
I would love to go to the final 3 with Juliana. I've worked with her for like most of the game. I think she's a good competitor, and she's like someone I'd want to sit next to for final 3. But today we have the challenge, and unfortunately I fell down a set of 1 single stair yesterday and sprained my ankle. So now I am on crutches.
The doctor says I ain't never gonna walk again. Not even on crutches.
So I don't really know how this challenge is gonna go. I feel like I'll be at a huge disadvantage because at this point immunity means a lot. I mean, if you just keep winning, you keep yourself in the game. Also, it shows that you're strong in challenges, which is a good case and something that I really value personally in like the game of Survivor is like the competitive aspect in challenges.
Going in, guys. We got some new looks going on here, Juliana. I like your hair.
Thank you.
What's going on with the hair? Why'd you dye it?
So it was a date party, and so I'm Wanda from the Fairly Odd Parents. So
I love it.
thank you.
And then Taylor, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, what happened to you?
I fell down a stair and sprained my ankle.
Singular.
I was one step away from the door, and then it was dark, and I missed the step.
So before we get to the challenge, Rachel, I have to take immunity back. Did you bring it with you? Cool. Come on up. So, final 6. Once again, immunity is back for grabs. We're guaranteed spot in the final 5. It's a big challenge. Just about 2 weeks left in this game. Nothing more important than this right here. So, today's challenge is pretty simple. What you'll do is you're going to start on one end of a table, and on that end of the table, there are 10 dominoes that you will use on the other side of the table to build a tower. The way that you get the dominoes to that side is by building a 10 domino train, knocking it down, starting the next train where the last one ended, all the way down the table. Once you get those 10 dominoes to one side of the table and build the tower, there's another 10 dominoes that you'll transport back to where you came from. So what you'll end up with is a tower on the far side, a tower on the near side where you started, and then once both of those are built, you'll run to the middle of the table where you'll find a beanbag. You'll use that beanbag to basically slide shuffleboard style to knock down the towers that you built. You have to knock all of the dominoes off of the table in order to consider it knocked down. Once all those dominoes are knocked down from both sides, you will use the remaining dominoes that are in the middle of your table to build one final tower. It's a little bit taller than the ones in the end. And once you build that tower, that person will win individual meeting.
First spot in the final 5. Survivors ready? Go. You guys are using 10 dominoes. Transport them to the other side of the table. It's going to take a little bit. This challenge is going to take a lot of patience. Taylor already has it fall.
That's pretty sweet.
Anna gets her first set. Anna building her second. Juliana gets her first. Rachel passed the halfway point. Mel's at the halfway point. Juliana's at the halfway point. Rachel's lead getting bigger. Greg and Rachel neck and neck. Taylor, Mel, Juliana, and Hannah just a little bit behind. It's Rachel and Greg almost done with their first run. Rachel is done with her first run. Build your first tower. Greg is done with his first run. He's building his first tower. Mel not too far behind. Juliana not too far behind. Hannah catching up. Taylor slowly limping her way. Greg has his tower done. Going for that second round. All the way back. Same thing. Rachel has her tower set. She's going back. Mel almost there trying to catch up. Juliana making good progress. Mel's got it. She's building her first tower using the ones that you got there.
Oh.
Mel's going to build her first tower. Juliana very close. Hannah's very close. Rachel is looking a slight lead on Greg on her way back to that second tower. Mel going to place that last piece on top of her tower. About to start her way back. Anna and Taylor very close. Juliana has hers built. She's on her way back. Trying to catch up with Greg and Rachel. Taylor's got hers. She's working on her tower. Everybody finishes the first round. Build that tower, work your way back. Catch up to Rachel. Rachel has reached the halfway point. Greg not too far behind. Juliana not too far behind. Greg slowly making up ground on Rachel. Mel and Juliana. Step by step with each other.
This is the hard part. The rest is easy. Rachel's got it. Rachel building the second tower. Greg not too far behind. Once you got it, go to the middle. You're sliding and hitting the left tower first. And it's starting to set in for everyone behind Rachel. This would be her third individual immunity win. A huge lead.
How many of these?
Only one person in Survivor Time and Change history has won. No, actually two. Two people in Survivor Time and Change history have won 3 individual immunity challenges. Rachel puts herself in the book if she does just that. Rachel sliding hers. You gotta knock all of them off. Greg trying to play catch up with Rachel. Greg is very close.
Oh my God.
4. And Greg is going on the second tower. Greg just trying to catch up with Rachel. Gotta knock them all off the table once you build that second tower. Juliana trying to catch up. Mel not too far behind. Greg has got that second tower. Don't knock him down. Greg going to knock all these off. With a nice shot. 3 left for Greg. Rachel's still working on hers up top. Greg's got all of them off. He's going to the second tower. Greg's got to knock off all the second tower. Rachel's got all of hers. She's going for the second tower. A nice one by Greg. He has 1 left. Greg just misses. Rachel has 1 left. Both Greg and Rachel racing for that last one. And Rachel has it. She's working on her tower. Greg has his. It's a race to the finish. Greg and Rachel. You got to build that last tower. First one to finish it. Call me over. Rachel has her base. This would be Rachel's 3rd individual immunity win. Greg's 1st. Rachel has the 2nd level done. Rachel has the 3rd. Rachel wins individual immunity for the 3rd time this season. Fun challenge. Once again between Greg and Rachel up in front of the pack. Rachel comes out on top once again. Rachel, come up. For the 3rd time this season, Rachel wins individual immunity. Guaranteed a spot in the final 5. For the rest of the 5 of you, 1 of you will become the 6th member of the jury and the 13th person voted out of this game. You've come a long way. You got a weekend to take that in, to think about who it's going to be. I'll see you on Tuesday for Tribal, all right? Have a great week.
I was happy that I did pretty well in that challenge.
Do you think the pink hair helped you?
You know, honestly, I think the pink hair might have been a good luck charm. This is just temporary spray, but might have to just make a big move and dye it, and maybe that, will just intimidate the rest of the competitors and mix up my game.
If everybody, everyone's playing to win. And, my fear was that Juliana is, more about friendships, less about, winning in the end, but I don't think that's true. Ultimately, she would be here.
But yeah, so that one kind of sucks just because, I think, if I can trust in my social relationships, which is the focus of my game anyway, theoretically I should be fine, because theoretically I put myself in the middle of both groups. But I'm sure that there's cross-group dialogue going on between Mel and Hannah and Taylor and Juliana. I just gotta trust that my relationships with them are stronger than their relationships with each other.
I'm kind of bummed I didn't win, but I think I would with the crutches. But I had a decent chance at it. Rachel's won for the 3rd time now, which is kind of a big deal. She's definitely really good at challenges, and if she keeps winning, then she can just win her way to the final 3. So that's interesting, something to keep in mind.
Because I know that Mel's on board, I'm pretty sure Taylor's on board. So all we gotta get is Juliana, and Juliana's frustrating so far because of her, as we saw in the Jamie vote, her lack of wanting to work with Mel and I've never been on the same side of the vote with her except for Autumn. So hopefully that Autumn vote showed a turning of the tides. and she woke up and saw that she's gonna make some big moves.
Yeah, happy I won. This definitely could have been a big one. If Greg or me are getting targeted this week, then at least it won't be me. Still hope it's not Greg. I'm hoping that we can still work with Taylor and Juliana and vote out Hannah or Mel, maybe split the vote.
I'm just nervous between Greg and Rachel because they've played like really strong games. But at the same time, I do want to go with people who I think like good competitors and stuff, because if I win, I want it to be like validated and stuff.
I think that we are feeling Hannah this week. We definitely want to stay loyal to the Secret Threat Alliance, and like honestly, I'd be happy to go final 3 with me, Rachel, Taylor, and I feel like we would have somewhat of like a chance for all of us to win. There's not really like going to be a clear set winner.
The same room that we just played the challenge. We did like one of those.
We took a lap.
We guessed it. Yeah.
I went to the restroom.
Classic. Survivor. Yeah. Juliana, where's the bathroom? Down this left hall?
Cool.
That
Okay.
was really fun running away from Juliana. Highlight of the day.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was.
Wait, you guys ran from Juliana?
Yeah, we ran away.
Like,
when she was giving you directions. Alrighty.
That's so funny.
Anyway.
Hey, well, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
What can
Wait,
I
did you actually need to the bathroom?
You're welcome.
Initially, I was like, I'm just gonna stall. Before I came to this challenge and realized that Taylor had 1 foot, I thought that Taylor was a bigger challenge threat than Juliana was. But I thought that Juliana was a better overall player. Especially because she was the one that went to Rachel first during that chaos last week for Autumn and said that she was going to vote Autumn.
Yeah.
So like we didn't even initiate that. Like she like came forward with that idea.
For me, my main pitch is that we should split the vote 2-2, and they'll probably go 2-2. So then it will be a revote at 2-2-2, and then we vote for who we actually want. Juliana or Taylor, I personally don't really care.
I think they're not telling the truth ultimately.
I mean, I
don't
doubt it,
know.
too. We're not telling the truth. Well, I think that maybe Rachel is thinking that her move is
to vote out Greg.
I don't know how to vote out Greg. Maybe we start with us, and with working with Juliana and Autumn, Juliana and Taylor, and then take Greg out, and then take those 3 to final 3.
That's so goofy because it's gonna be like a 3-way. Like you and I are both trying to get Taylor, and then Rachel's trying to get.
Who would have thought that Taylor would be like the power move?
I did.
You did. I know.
I've been like courting her for years.
You have.
I want Taylor and Juliana to think, I want to keep Rachel around because I don't think that she's 100% on taking Greg, and she might take both of us. And I like that thought process from them. Because I think if they think that they keep like Hannah around, Hannah's going to take Mel. I could be wrong, but I don't think that Hannah went up to them and said, hey, I might not take Mel. And I mean, I think that was a genius move on my part, but we'll see how it pans out.
Since we have the numbers, I feel like we should just split it, Mel and Hannah. And then for who after that, I could be convinced either direction, but I guess I would have a slight preference towards Hannah. I feel like she's better at articulating herself and has a better, better story that she could tell if she made it to the final 3.
I don't know how they've spun it that like Hannah's a wizard because I generally don't like Hannah will admit it herself. Like I've come up with most of those ideas. Like I don't know how that like she does use big words. Like I mean that's really dumb. Like that's a dumb reason to like consider voting somebody out because they have like a vernacular.
She'd probably like make it really like sound really good with like her big words.
Yeah.
I'd be confused and be like, what?
Confused into voting for her.
Every time during tribal, she pulls out the biggest words, and I'm like, where did that come from? What does that mean?
Logically, everybody but Rachel votes for me, and that would be that. But I feel like with the people left, it's not necessarily going to be solely a logical decision. I mean, we saw last season, it didn't make sense for people to take Autumn all the way to final 3 because if she wins that challenge, she wins the game. But they did. So I'm hoping I can kind of pull something off like that where like they don't necessarily view me as a threat, we need to get them out, yet they view me as an ally and somebody who like they've got my votes.
Me and Juliana are kind of in a spot where we can either work with Mel or Hannah, or we can work with Greg and Rachel, I really like working with Greg and Rachel, and I really like working with Mel. So I'm kind of in a hard position of who I want to work with this week.
Our very first meeting.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And it's funny because we're like neighbors. We're like dorm neighbors.
Yeah, like this could have been the like most convenient alignment ever, but like
literally
we failed to meet every time. I feel like I don't think that going up against either Greg or Rachel really like any of us could really win.
Mm-hmm.
I am literally so annoyed. Like I just feel like everybody's like am I like crazy? Am I crazy? Like, I think that it's so obvious that it should be Greg or Rachel. Or, well, Greg, because it's only Greg. Like, I thought this should be a lot more easy. Like, it shouldn't be that much of an uphill battle. Like, I know I haven't worked with Juliana. I know that there's probably a trust barrier. So, have you met with them at all?
I'm talked to Taylor, just kind of gauge where she's at, and I'm just gonna meet with everyone, just to kind of like get a feel for where everyone's at.
Greg and Rachel just texted me and said that you, Taylor, and them met and like pitched a split on Hannah and I.
Okay, we talked about that, but like really, yeah, sorry, we said that. I just didn't want to like tell you that because like I didn't want you to think that like me coming to you like right after this is gonna show that I'm disloyal, because I really am like open.
Okay, what the hell, Greg and Rachel? They told Mel like right away that we met and that we proposed the idea to split the vote.
A split vote is like basically Greg and Rachel's signature. So I obviously knew that they pitched that, but like I wasn't sure whether it was true or not that they had even met. And then like confronting it with Juliana, like clearly they met, but like she didn't mention it. So like obviously means she's considering it. She's like, I didn't want to mention it because I didn't want like that's the only way you can trust people, to be like, okay, yeah, they told me that's dumb as fuck, I'm voting for fucking Greg. Yeah, I don't know, that's irritating to me.
I honestly don't even remember. I kind of blanked out because I was so like scared. I've never like been called out on camera because like I don't lie usually. I don't like tell people fake things or like bother meeting up with people who like I don't think I'm gonna work with down the line. Or if I do, I just don't like say anything. So that was so awkward, and I've like never felt more uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm a little shooketh. I would be interested in going for Greg, but I'm not gonna like say right now that I'm gonna commit because I'm gonna like try to just talk to everybody and get a feel. But I really think that for us, like especially like if we want a chance, that would be the smartest move. I'm gonna definitely consider what she's saying because I do want Greg out at some point. I was thinking next week for him and Hannah this week, but maybe I don't know, go for Greg this week. I'm not really sure.
Wow, I just like I don't get it. I don't see what they're seeing at all. Like I don't understand what their purpose, like, and even reaching out to Greg, like. Just kind of saying that, like, I'm pretty open, like, I'm just, like, listening to everything, you know, like, I'm just flabbergasted, really, like, I just can't even, like, it's hard for me to, like, want to work with them and, like, talk to them because, like, use logic a little bit, like, just a little bit.
I'm, like, 99.999% positive that I'm getting voted for by Mel and Hannah. Like, that's just a fact, I feel like. So I figured if I'm getting votes by them, then they're for sure coming to you guys and saying, hey, vote out Greg, because I don't think they're going to Rachel to do it. So if you guys are holding my fate in your hands, then I figured I should give you my pitch as to why I want to stay instead of Mel and Hannah.
I've obviously put a ton of time. I feel like I do deserve to be here. I've spent my entire junior year playing this game with this organization, with these people. And that was my reasoning for coming back, was to spend more time with these people. And I was like, I got a girlfriend out of season 2. I've got one of my best friends from season 2. And so like that was my goal, was to come back and make more friends. I'm not playing to win. I mean, I'd love to win, but I'm not. Like, that's not my only focus. Like some people, like Hannah and Mel, that's their focus, is to win. And for me, it's more spending time with people that I want to spend time with. And I obviously enjoy this organization a lot. And it means a lot to me, and I'm not really ready to give that up just yet.
Like, even if I do get voted out this time, it's not a wasted semester. Like, I've got I have a lot of really good friends now, but it would obviously be awesome to just spend another week or however long in it and
Like if I can get to day 90, like even at Final 4, like again, I'm not saying take me to Final 3. Like I'm just asking that I don't get voted out this time, because it gives me, one step closer to spending more time with people.
I know that Mel and Hannah are probably going to drill them with strategy, numbers, charts, whatever, to try to, flip them onto me. So, and I can't really compete with that because strategically I think it makes sense to vote me out. So my plan was to pitch them more of the personal side of it and give them something else to think about other than just strategy. And so I threw in a little bit of strategy because you have to, and I thought, I think it's strategically, I think I twisted it so that it makes sense to keep me.
I'm not sure if staying loyal to STA is going to be the move, or if trying to propel myself forward in the game and making a big move by getting Greg out is going to be the best decision. But I know that Taylor and I are going to stay loyal. There's no question about that. Definitely appreciate that you coming and talking, because obviously that's what Hannah and Mel are going to do.
Yeah.
And they're going to come and give us their pitch later. So I definitely want to hear, because I personally, I have no idea. This is something that I need to think about, and this definitely really helps to understand what your goals in the game are.
But I am just really torn, just from a personal level, of voting someone out, because I don't know how much I trust Mel, but I just don't know how much I trust Hannah. I feel like she doesn't necessarily trust me a whole lot either, and I don't know if working with her, if she would then. I don't think she'd try and work with Rachel, but I don't know. And I don't know if Rachel then would want to work with Hannah and Mel, because Rachel versus Hannah and Mel would definitely win.
To be honest, I'm not sure if it worked. I don't know if they had a decision to make or not. They might have been against me, and didn't matter what I said. They might have been for me, didn't matter what I said. Or they might have been 50-50, and it did matter what I said. But then even then, I don't know if I convinced him or not, and it's one of those things that I'll just have to wait and see.
That's Rachel, you gonna hand over that necklace? That
I think I'm gonna keep it this time.
I'll try to.
You're not gonna try and save Tremblay.
Yeah. No respect for your elders, Rachel?
I think you got this.
This half is voting for Hannah. This half is voting for Mel, because it's less letters for me to write.
This is a good week to have this idol, because it's a week where intelligence says that it should be me or Greg. But so happy to make it Final 6. I mean, to make it to Final 5, that's pretty awesome. I think I'll be okay either way. It's just a different pitch. I do want Greg to stay, obviously, and I want to stick with Juliana and Taylor.
I thought this week, after the autumn vote, I was skipping. I was so excited. I was like, this is exactly what needed to happen. I have Taylor, I have Hannah. Hopefully we can get Juliana to vote out one of Greg or Rachel. Either one, didn't really matter. But getting Juliana is a lot harder than I thought. And also, I didn't realize, I don't think that Taylor and Juliana are this long-running pair. I mean, if they are, honestly, props to them, because that was not easily perceivable from our end. But I feel like it seems like Taylor is kind of now forming her gameplay around what Juliana, more of Juliana's gameplay. And that, I mean, I've only met with Juliana once, but it seems like there's a turn in Taylor's game.
I honestly think that all of us sitting here, if Rachel or Greg make it to Final 3, they're gonna win. And I don't really want to see that happen. I think that all of us here are on a more even playing ground, and I want to have, I think all of us want to have the equal shot of winning.
Yeah. I'm kind of in a weird spot, because I think with the group that we had a couple weeks ago, I considered myself a threat. I thought that I was, but if I'm coming down to the smaller numbers, I don't really know if I consider myself a threat anymore with Rachel and Greg, because they really have dominated this game. Something that I've been thinking about is that this is called Survivor. This is a game about surviving, not thriving, and I think that some people in this game have honestly been thriving. Rachel and Greg have been thriving, But for me, I've been surviving. Like, I've not had it as hard as some people, but I've just been trying to survive. And if that means kind of laying low, sliding under the radar a little bit, that's what you got to do if you want to survive in this game.
I know we haven't like worked super closely together in the past. So like, do you have any like questions or concerns?
I mean, I guess just like small concerns, but like, I guess because the fact that we've not really worked together, but at the same time, like, it wouldn't really make sense for you guys, for like, I don't know, for people to pass up on like Greg and to go for like Taylor and I.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like in that aspect, like, it just like makes sense. Like, I trust you guys.
And honestly, that's been my game plan for so long, ever since the merge, of being able to get to a spot where we have the numbers to go for Greg. And I want to do it, honestly, I do, but I cannot trust Juliana. I can't trust her at all. We've never been on the same side of the vote, barring Autumn, and she just doesn't seem to be getting our game plan. I'm ready to make the move, and I think it needs to happen, and it needs to happen now, but there's just a little part of me that is just so dead set on like not trusting Juliana.
I'm stressed about it. I don't trust Juliana. So I don't know. Like, what is your thoughts? Because you obviously know.
I trust Juliana.
Okay.
And so I think that she will vote Greg.
Whatever. I'm glad we had this conversation.
Yeah.
I hope tomorrow will go as we want it to. Because I think this is our last chance to win. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because next week, I bet he's going to win the challenge if you get it through.
I was like headed to the union or whatever, and then Hannah's like, oh, like, can we talk like one-on-one? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And she was like, I'm nervous, like, I don't know what Juliana's thinking. And I'm like, well, she told you she was gonna vote Greg, but like, I don't know. And she was just like freaking out about it, and I was like, okay, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I feel like she's gonna. Huh?
I said that's interesting because from our meeting, I feel like I made it like really.
You were, yeah, like, and I was. She's like, well, she's like, I just don't know her that well. I'm like, yeah, I guess like you haven't really met with her.
Mel is going to vote for Greg no matter what. And in that case, I feel like I need to do what will take me the farthest, and I think that means voting for Greg. Fingers crossed that we can pull this damn thing off after weeks of trying. We miss you, Kevin. If Kevin were still here, we would not be in this situation.
Hello, Survivor. Here's Nicholas. Here's Allison. As you can hear, maybe you can hear the tornado. Oh. Yeah. Got some, what's it called? Determined students out there. Good students. Buena estudiantes. Yeah, so trying to survive this tornado right now. Survivor's crazy. You just never know what's going to hit you. We've got a vote tonight. So we'll see if I get voted out or die first. That'll be fun to see. Place your bets.
Splitting. Cool. Splitting. 10:15 tonight.
Be there, be square.
Don't forget your bobs.
Don't forget your bobs.
It's gonna suck voting out Hannah, or voting for Hannah. I don't want to say voting out because I don't want to get too confident, but it's gonna suck voting for Hannah because I do like her and Mel a lot. They've been fun to work with, frustrating for sure at times, but overall pretty fun to work with and just like fun people to be around.
I'm pretty sure that Greg and I crushed it so hard that he might not get any votes today, which is crazy because the logical thing would be for Mel, Hannah, Taylor, and Autumn Mel, Hannah, Taylor, and Juliana to get together and vote out Greg right now and vote me out next. But either they're not going with logic and they're going with loyalty, or I just think too highly of myself and Greg. Both very possible. I'm pretty sure that we have Juliana and Taylor. I'm pretty sure we have Mel and Hannah too, but as long as we have Juliana and Taylor, then we're good. Go Bucks. Go Muni Necklace.
I just walked through a thunderstorm 30 minutes before the cutoff, not even like 20, to meet with Mel, who I'm voting against tonight. Why did I do that?
We have 9 minutes till the cutoff before tribal.
Classic.
Yeah, typical us. Like here we are for this is what happened during the Jamie vote. We were here pretty much up until the bell, and here we are again.
Yeah.
But we're not frantic this time.
Yeah.
Last time was a bit frantic. We're not frantic this time.
I was in bed watching a show, dry, cozy, and instead I ended up out of bed, not watching a show, wet and not cozy, and then I had to go and meet. So that's too bad.
I feel like when I think about like how I want to play this game and like how I want this game to like end, like I just watched the finale of season 1 and like it was like closing a chapter book. Like I don't know, like when I think about like closing this chapter of my life, like I want to look back and be like, I played a loyal game, like I played a game like that I'm happy with. I'm voting Greg. That's definitely happening. I'm not as like this is something I've wanted to make happen for a really long time, and like talking to him, like no matter which way the vote goes, like it's not gonna be like necessarily as much of a victory as I thought it would, I guess. I'm bringing my idol just in case. I told Hannah to wear her backpack so then people think that maybe we both have idols. I don't know, like just scare people. It's a Robbie move, whatever.
So I have Juliana here on the phone.
Hi.
There was a storm out, so we couldn't meet, but you know, we're improvising.
Yeah, there was tornado warning.
Yeah.
So, you know, kind of care about our safety.
Yeah, we're trying not to die here. And I feel like we're like the middlemen of this whole like decision for the vote tonight.
For sure.
So what were you thinking about like Greg or Hannah pretty much?
I feel like strategically, I think Greg is the better choice for us.
Yeah.
But like friendship-wise, like that's like obviously like we're closer and like we like Greg, so that's like difficult.
I really don't think it's going to be a clear-cut decision because it's really going to come down to what I think is best for me in the game and staying true to my alliances and being loyal. Greg is someone that I've worked with. I haven't worked with Hannah and Mel before. There is somewhat of a lack of trust there, and I just really like Greg as a person. I think he's a really nice guy. We get along. We're both pretty weird, so we definitely bond over our weirdness. And I would just honestly feel pretty bad about voting him out.
I talked to Juliana, and she kind of was on the same page. So just having both of us on the same page is nice, that we're voting together.
I'm pretty much putting my faith in Juliana and Taylor. And I'm switching things up a bit here with this vote. But yeah, don't feel too great about it just from a personal standpoint. It's not going to be a fun vote. It's not going to be an easy vote. This will be back-to-back votes for me that I really don't want to do as a person.
I look like Helena Bonham Carter. I'm gonna be late. I gotta film this confessional. All right. So I'm very nervous, but I think right now the plan is just write down Greg's name and hope for the best.
So I'm really hoping that Juliana and Taylor aren't both writing my name down today. Hopefully they are splitting like they said. It's going to be pretty stressful waiting to see the votes read, just because I know that my name has been thrown out quite a bit. I'm very self-aware about that, but I'm hoping that none of that sticks. Everybody wants to work with me, and I'm here at Final 5. So we will see.
I think that if it fails, then I am next. If not tonight, then soon. God, I don't know. There's a lot of things going on. I don't know. It's time to go out on a limb and take a chance and stop trying to play it safe. Because you don't win when you play it safe. You win when you make ballsy moves, and hopefully this can be our ballsy move.
Hello.
Yeah.
Final 6, 11 days left in the game. It's day 79. We are just under 2 weeks left in this game. I don't know if you're relieved or excited. I don't really know what the vibe is. But I know a couple people who are very excited to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, the members of your jury. Josh, Jenna, Kevin, Jamie, and Autumn voted out for the last tribal council. Autumn, how you doing since last tribal council? First time to speak to you as a member of the jury.
Yeah, it's kind of weird just because I've been in this org for like 8 months, so having a life again is definitely different. And just want to throw it back to season 2 a little bit when I got voted out, or not when I got voted out, but well, I was still in the game. The jury gave me a little bit of shit and called me a rat. So I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. I love all of you. You're still all rats, but I love you.
Anyways, all right, so good to have you guys here. Final 6, we've got an exciting night. 5 of you moving on to the final weeks of this game, and one of you 6 is the winner. I think that's a really exciting thing. In just 11 days, I know, Hannah, it's that look on your face, you just want to know who it is. So we get one step closer tonight. So, let's get started. Final 6, Rachel, the only one of these 6 who is into the final 5. For the 3rd time, I'll be asking you the same exact question. So, how does it feel winning immunity a 3rd time? You don't have to worry that it's you tonight, especially after a crazy tribal council last time. You know it can't be you.
It's pretty great. I mean, the first one was nice because it's nice to have it, but now it's like kind of necessary and getting close to the end, so it's a good feeling.
So Greg, you were right there with her again. You went literally toe to toe with her in that last challenge and then came up short. And then in this one this week, came up just a bit short. A couple seconds probably would have helped you win that challenge, right? So do you feel like you needed this one after seeing someone like Autumn, who was also a return eco last week?
First off, good pun, toe to toe. That was good. Second off,
try to be like you.
A lot of people do. Thank you.
It's the name.
So do I feel like I needed it? Does a bear shit in the woods? That's what I'm going to throw back at you.
All right, so the last tribal council, Mel, you received a vote. And whether or not that was where the vote went, receiving a vote means your name was brought up in a discussion, right? Someone said your name, and that has to make you scared going into any vote, knowing that your name has been brought up in the past. Are you worried that tonight could go your way?
Definitely. I mean, yeah. I think that like this week has been interesting because it's only 6 people. I feel like everybody's name, even Rachel, an accident probably, has been brought up at one point or another. So like, I like hearing my name last week and then like knowing that like that could be foundation, that conversation that happened in the last week could be foundation for justification of my name this week to support mine.
So then one interesting dynamic, and you guys sat very, very appropriately for this, right? So with that, this dynamic is very interesting because if it was a game of pairs, regardless, you would just get 2 pairs together, they vote one way. That's a majority, right? But what you also have to keep in mind is that someone here is going to lose part of their pair, right? So then think about the next vote. What happens at 5? Does that person also go home next, and then is it 2 pairs left? What happens then? Is it 2-2 tie at final 4? How much are you guys thinking about down the line with the vote that you are making tonight, Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of like start thinking ahead when you like do every vote. And I mean, if someone loses their parents tonight, then you could just vote that person out, but that person could also then join a group of 3, and then that's a majority. So I don't think it's just necessarily like the pairs won't always stay together necessarily because that wouldn't make sense. And like people have to be able to change to like win the game. So.
And you also have to think about if everyone does deserve to win in some aspect, what kind of person do you want to be sitting next to? Do you want to sit next to someone who you've been loyal this entire game to? Do you want to sit next to someone that you think you can beat, right? So how much are you thinking about those kinds of dynamics, Juliana?
You know, these past couple weeks I've been kind of like thinking about that a lot, and that is like a really hard decision because like I came into this game like I do like to compete, but like you know like I'm a first year, like I just really wanted to like make some new friends and just like form some new connections with people. So because like that was kind of my mindset going in, like the fact that I made it this far, it's really hard, and every vote is getting tougher and tougher because it's like you just care about these people and it's hard.
So then, Greg, what is most important to you in this? You've played this game for a long time. You've probably made a lot of friends from last season and this season too. So then talk about the difficulty of having to vote against people who you have become friends with over these past 79 days.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of on the same page as Juliana, where like I'm super competitive, but coming back as a returner, and especially after Vinny getting voted out, I figured I was kind of a ticking time bomb before I was gone too. So I wanted to take the opportunity just to spend time with an organization I love, people I love, and you know, as far as I got, awesome. That's a win in my book, and just, you know, if I get to the end, great. That means I spent 90 days with these people, even better. But if, you know, this is my last night, it's been a heck of a run. Had a lot of fun. Hopefully it's not, though.
So then, Hannah, as a first-time player, and it's no secret you guys have gotten to know each other. You probably have some friends coming out of this as well, but is that enough for you? Are you so competitive to the point where, like, what did you get out of this experience if you didn't win? Is that what well, right. I see your reaction, so then let's talk about that.
I mean, I've honestly never really considered myself a competitive person. Like, it's surprising considering that I'm here. But I think that first and foremost, definitely relationships are what's important. And yeah, 2 choices at the end. So I don't know, you have a lot of different, like, there's a lot of different methods for who you're going to be sitting next to in the end. But what happens in that final courtroom, like, yeah, okay, maybe you win, but if you don't have the people behind you, like, that made your experience worthwhile, it doesn't matter. So kind of like what the other 2 said, just, yeah, that's what's important.
We're not playing for $1 million. That just needs to stay in perspective. So if I was playing for $1 million, I probably wouldn't be friends with any of them.
Fair enough. Maybe I should get that, that additional fun.
Yeah, if you want to get that prize money for me, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I'd rather you guys be friends. And Rachel, does it really matter, like, what you guys think of each other with, like, who you think deserves to win at all? Because it's not you guys that decide it, right? It's them, right? So
Yeah.
does it even matter? What do you think they're looking for in a winner?
Well, it depends because it's a pretty personal game. So even if it's not you, who you want the winner to be, you kind of want to represent your season. Since again, like, it's not for $1 million, you want it to be someone that you can look back on and be like, yeah, they were awesome. And also, I think there's some, I don't know, like, self-pride in being able to be like, oh yeah, I went to the end with this person and I beat them, than to go with people who you think might be an easy win.
Rachel is immune, you cannot vote for her. The other 5 are fair and game. That being said, Greg, you're up. Let's go vote.
This is not an easy vote for me to make. However, there's only so much paranoia and freaking out over stuff that doesn't need to be freaked out about that I can take. It's been fun, and we'll talk later.
I honestly wanted you out for a really long time, but this is kind of sad to see.
I'm gonna vomit. What is wrong with my fit? Holy shit. I'm so scared. I don't want to do it. Oh my god. I'm so scared. Oh, I'm so scared to write that name down. This is gonna go so terribly. I'm so nervous.
Final 6. I'll go get the votes. Before I read the votes, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol, would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Alright, once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Greg. Greg, it's 2 votes Greg. Mel, it's 2 votes Greg, 1 vote Mel. Hannah, it's 2 votes Greg, 1 vote Mel, 1 vote Hannah. The 13th person voted out of Driver Time and Change, and the 6th member of our jury, Greg. Tonight, that is enough. Greg, for the second time, drive is spoken. Stand ready to go. Ladies, welcome to Final 5. You guys voted out every returnee, every man. Now this is a game between the 5 of you. I have no idea how this is going to end. I know none of you do either, and that's what makes it so damn exciting. Congratulations on making Final 5. 11 days left. One of you 5 is the winner of Survivor Time and Change Urban Legends. I can't wait to find out who that is. With that, you guys can head on out. Have a good night.
Damn. I mean, I knew it was coming. I got farther than I did last time. I don't really have any regrets about how I played. I played morally how I wanted to. I didn't go and start lying to a bunch of people. I made a bunch of friends again, so 2 semesters in a row.
This was definitely not an easy vote, especially with the friendship that we formed over the past couple weeks. So I'm sorry, this is completely strategic, and I hope you understand.
Go, Rachel. Go win it. I'm voting for you at the end if you make it. You better make it, because I didn't. Everybody else can fuck themselves. Just kidding. I'm friends with all of them, but they voted me out, so fuck that. It was a blast. Thanks for having me back. It was worth all the time and the effort and the stress. Wouldn't trade it for the world. And yeah, hopefully we can keep this going long after you guys are gone and into next year and long after I'm gone, because it's a great organization and I'm very happy with the time spent.
Tune in next Thursday, September 14th for the exciting conclusion of Survivor Time and Change Urban Legends. And be sure to join us on Monday, September 18th at 8/7 Central for the live reunion of Season 3, featuring some of your favorite castaways from the season, reuniting for the first time in 5 years. You won't want to miss it.